Yo, listen to this.
Oh yes, yes. Don't drop. Hop on, Lice. Sneaky, sneaky. Oh, hello!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose 2015. We've played one game so far, and TSM reigning victorious, leading 1-0 against LGD. We broke the first game down a little bit, and as we hinted at the picks and bans for Game 2, just slightly, is there anything you particularly want to see from LGD's side, since they didn't have the best showing against TSM?
I want to see input a champion where he can't jump in.
Ah!
Yeah, I feel like that would help them out a lot. That would be pretty good for them. Maybe a Jinx or something. As mobile as possible, Ashe or something.
As immobile as possible.
I like that.
Not something you hear every day for an AD carry.
Yeah, wonderful.
What about on the other ends? I mean, overall, it was more just a whole composition, right?
I want to see gameplay. Like, ultimately, like, I want to see gameplay. I think that champion's super good. I was surprised to see him not played at all, especially because, again, these teams are fairly rusty. You're gonna get to late game, right? Winning the lane didn't matter. You had a 3-0 Renekton, and it didn't do that much more than the rest of the TSM squad. So bring a Gangplank somewhere, go hit 6 sides, be like, best champion of the game, let's go, everybody! And like that's a viable play style for every team in like at least this match.
Yeah, man, just take it easy, go to the late game, right?
Are you gonna talk about your time in CLGEU again when you were relevant? Do you want to play some Anivia?
All right, just go make some fun speech.
You'll steal us too.
What I liked about the way LGD played overall is just they had good mechanics like during the laning phase. Like a couple of those plays, like TSM was playing really well mechanically wise in the lane and out trading them 2v2 and 1v1 in lanes. But then right when TSM was about to crush him down, they managed to escape. We had that dive on the bot lane where PL, I thought he was done for. He ulted out and then he flashed at the very last second to get out. So there are some good players on that team, and I just don't want them to like get pigeonholed into this very one-dimensional composition again, especially teams that like lack the macro gameplay to perfection. If you put them in such one-dimensional compositions, it's so easy to play against. Just get them some wave clear, get them some ways to get back into the game, and then wait for an opportunity where they can use those mechanics to really start outplaying people.
You think they're going to pick up the Tahm Kench first pick?
But they should. I mean, the champion is so strong. We've seen that at Worlds. Like, he just denies so many plays. He makes certain plays impossible. Doublelift was literally the first member in front of his team. Everybody was standing behind him. Kasting is literally like 2 frames behind him because he doesn't want to get CC'd along with Doublelift. Pulls him out every time. Doublelift can play as far up as he wants, and it allows for so many plays to be made on your side, and it denies way too many plays, in my opinion. He's just incredibly strong.
Now, if LGD takes Tahm Kench, can play a champion that can jump in, because then someone can bring him back out? Or is the worry that he'll get caught, they'll bring him back out?
He's too far away from Tahm Kench, and Tahm Kench can bring him forwards. You can just right-click on him.
You never know with him, man. You never know what you're going to get. But, oh, it looks like we're going right in. So let's find out Tahm Kench, of course, high contention in the Gangplank, as you guys mentioned. I'm also personally interested. This TSM, once again, to the competition that still puts the spotlight solely on Doublelift, and everyone else is kind of there more or less to help him out.
I think it was a pivot. The more I replay champs, like in my mind, it's like, yeah, like the Tahm Kench was first picked because they knew they could run a composition that would work here, right? The way you do picks and bans is you get the high priority stuff, and you say, okay, we got these ones. Here's the comps that work with these high priority champions contested picks.
Okay.
We got Tahm Kench, we can run a Jinx comp with a Nivea now. We didn't get Tahm Kench, we're running a different composition. If you're doing it right, it's how you play it.
Yeah, you branch out.
I'm actually surprised to see the Lissandra pick. I'm not really sure that... I mean, I know Hunters
really
plays
big
a lot
now.
of Lissandra, but I haven't really seen... I guess Bjergsen played it a lot.
He played it at Worlds as well.
Did he?
I'm pretty certain he played it at Worlds himself.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, she's just a big champion. She lets you pick people off so easily. She's like, just actually become really common again.
A lot of strong picks open here, though. We have Elise open right now. Tahm Kench still available. Gangplank still, even though he wasn't picked.
Kindred's up.
Kindred's up too.
Yeah. That changes like.
There's a lot open right now.
And there's a lot of. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, people don't really respect TBQ as well. Like, right, if he's Eureka's player, you're like, here, go pick the best champion in the game. You're not very good, though.
These champions, they change the dynamic, too. You know, get a Kindred in there, get like a Tahm Kench. It changes the way the entire like game has to be played. So.
Okay, well, it's banned, so.
Yeah, Kindred is banned, but hey, still a lot left open, and we do see Acorn coming in for the second game.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
What a change of pace. Usually it's like, all right, we're losing Flame, please come in and carry us. It's like, Flame, it's not necessarily you, but Acorn's going to come in and see how things go. And
so look at the first pick as well as the advance from LGD. 3 essentially assassins off the roster, 3 of the biggest ones, plus Tahm Kench picked up. Like, they are ready to now play around Imp very heavily. Like, whether that's Triss, whether that's Jink, maybe it's even a Kog'Maw or a Twitch, just something like really damage focused, you may see LGD play completely around it.
Because they were doing well 2v2. Like, they were CSing, even though, you know, every time we tuned into that lane, Doublelift was like outbaiting them, but he stayed perfectly even on CS, mostly because they had Alistar heal to neutralize stuff. So they weren't really trailing behind, even if TSM like managed to get minor outplays or a kill. Like, Flame stayed even like with Hanser and CS for the majority of the time. Mid lane was even slightly ahead for Pain Evil.
It was actually ahead in CS for the majority of the game. Even though like all the lanes are pressured, all the lanes in LGD kept even. Even the top lane that was ahead 3 kills, it was still just keeping even in CS.
Yeah, you know, as we're looking at Svenskeren, what's he going to lock into? Personally, I'm also curious about, you know, the LeBlanc ban. Sure, you know, Bjergsen plays LeBlanc very well, etc. But again, it's a new TSM where you don't get necessarily as much value by trying to ban out Bjergsen, right? Because Doublelift is still going to be able to carry the game if he needs to.
That's definitely a chance.
Yeah, I think it's almost definitely going to be that. The thing is, like, the way that the bans work specifically is, like, it's all about, like, the delta in your opposing team's performance, right?
True.
If LeBlanc is 10% worse without those 2 champions, you have 10% worse mid laner for Godv to go beat up against. And that just really just depends what the champion pools are. Is the strategy too good? Like a bunch of assassins killing off a Kalista. Now Kalista's really safe. Like, these are just tools you have to think about.
The Kalista Tahm Kench lane is the most disgusting. Like, who do I even kill here? Like, I can just ulti the Tahm Kench back and he can eat. And the best thing is when you eat somebody and then just like ulti the person. Yeah, oh my god.
It's like Thresh Kalista on steroids, you know. Usually you have like, okay, at least we can maybe interrupt the Lantern. That's like the one kind of play. Like, who do you focus? Because, you know, Thresh gets pulled back or Kalista gets Lantern out. The same here. Like, it's...
Oh, we'll see. So LGD seems to have a little bit more, you know, of course, also being first pick, they're going to be able to pick out their cores a little bit earlier. You guys said Shen most likely 99% going to be in that support.
Yeah, Hanser does play it. Like, he has played it back with Gravity in the summer split, so there is a chance it is a flex. I do agree with you, though. I think it is most likely to be support here. Next 3 picks for TSM, and the thing is, of course, TSM has to show some of their lanes. Like, now they have to blind, or TSM now have to show their mid lane here, or vice versa, and now they get to counter pick / flex pick the Shen to make top lane the matchup they want here. So now Godv once again gets to pick the matchup he wants in mid.
Not so sure what the value is of hiding that Shen as a flex and then revealing both your major carry roles already. I would have locked just like 80 carry support and then made sure Bjergsen got the counter pick because he should like be able to do well. But then again, Orianna does well into almost every matchup. It's just like neutral.
And yeah, Godfrey, now known as Pain Evil, picking up that costume potentially again. Like you guys said, I mean, Cassidy played well, but
Ori does not do very well against Zed, I'll tell you that right now. I mean, if you go late game and get the Hourglass,
right,
have the Seraph's Embrace and all that, it's good, but that lane can snowball out of control. Just so, and Cassidy's also really good against Orianna as well.
Either way, I mean, Orianna is one of those champions that definitely needs time to stabilize, and then she's almost good at any composition, but you're going to need to get there.
Full-on skirmish though, again, no wave clear really coming out. TSM, if they get ahead, then they can pincer and lock LGD on their tower. It's again that similar game flow where they need to find an opening from the side.
Oh, they get
I lied. Victor for Salvo.
I like
I like it more.
Yeah, maybe that's what they were discussing. It's like, you know, he played well in Cassidy, but that did bite them a little bit in the mid-game in game 1. So better rounded out. TSM looking at, yeah, I don't know if
he just harvests it every time. Yeah, it's just his new thing.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where every player has a champion that they like to go to.
Well balanced composition in terms of like magic damage, tanks, physical damage here on LGD side though. They have the tank focus, like OF is like a hybrid. The Mix I can go pure tank. And Tom Kench like fills that void a little bit, so they have enough peel. They should have enough damage late game with the Victor. Victor's weakness generally is like immobility. Tom Kench can solve that too, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
They even have ways of going in. You toss in a Tom Kench, and at least you can get like the knockup.
Yeah, you can just
from
get
the Ballista ulti. So, yeah, a lot of really good things, especially if they can get some kind of speed ups. A lot of these champions have the rocket ship for LGD, so even though you wouldn't want to buy Salvador extension, maybe you get like righteous glory on Tom Kench. Like that's actually really good up here. And TSM, it is, as you said, strength support. The top lane Gnar matchup here up against Olaf. That one gonna be interesting.
I think it's a good matchup just because, you know, you have a range advantage. But the problem is if you get hit by one axe in lane, he can just run you down the whole lane. And to be honest, like, once he hits 6, what is Elise going to do to gank him? You can just pretty much shrug off all the CC. And you can even shrug off the Shenton if he decides to get into the fight. So I think that the Olaf's going to become a real problem if he starts snowballing. So they need to put him down.
Good thing that TSM picks up another damage component though. Picking Shent up here, another like support, whatever he provides, I don't think would have.
Yeah, Ori Trist is
would have really worked. Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, they have a little bit more to round it out. So then, you know, where does Svenskeren go? I mean, is it just every lane before level 6? You just
anywhere.
You can go
They're
top,
going to lane swap. They're going to lane swap for sure.
Lane swap.
You don't want to play against Ballista Tom Kench, or even just Olaf in general. You just don't want that. So it's going to be a lane swap scenario, and I think the lanes are going to even out at some point, and then the Shen's just going to come into.
All right, LGD trying to make this go to game 3, ladies and gentlemen, or will TSM get their first match win with their debut lineup? Let's find out in game 2 between these two teams over with the commentators.
Thank you very much, guys. So what do we expect from that pick and ban? It's looking like LGD's got a great pick and ban there.
I think what's the key about these teams is that neither one really has very good engage without the use of a flash. Which means that it really is probably going to come down to who has priority over objective, who gets there first, because both teams sort of want to kite this one out, more or less, and I think that's going to make the Dragon fights about who's there first, Baron fights about who's there first, and who has to face check.
And with the two compositions that we see in front of us, it's all going to be all about the Dragon fights. You have two essentially wombo combo, sort of mid-game power spiking teams. Ballista Victor, obviously both very strong in the mid-game. Gnar, Orianna, always the potential with those double forms of AoE CC to really just lock up a whole team. So really going to be about, as you said, that setup for both sides, and additionally making sure that LP doesn't find an early advantage here and allow them to transition that Callista to her first.
And leading the Callista up is absolutely huge. Imp is one of the best Callista players in the world. Very, very skilled on that particular pick, so you have to be very cautious about letting him have that. He's shown time and time again in the LPL what he can do with that champion.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 underway. TSM 1-0 up after an interesting first game. I think is the best way to phrase that one. Svenskeren already spotted out, but ward coverage going to be in favor of LGD on this one. Him going a little bit of taunt there. But of course, TSM going to answer that in kind with their own ward coverage down the lower half of the jungle. So he pause.
So as this pause comes out, just looking at the warding,
I think Pain Evil was like, I can't see myself in game. There should be God V somewhere. I just don't see it. I'm just like confused.
I'm going to need another name change. What do you need another name real quick? I actually wanted to play Cassidy, and he said I had to play Victor.
I feel bullied.
The internet already figured out how to meme him as Plat Evil. So he's on the hunt for a meme-proof name.
What can he move to for Diamond, I wonder? But anyway, yeah, there is a pause here. Clearly, you can see it's looking like a sound issue because Johan's straight away on the case here. Very experienced referees, so they're going to be figuring that one out. So, okay, let's talk about what we've seen straight away. Immediately, big warding, obviously, in the top half. Big warding in the bottom half from TSM. Probably going to be a lane swap, no doubt about it.
Yeah, no trinket bot, actually, by PYL there at the start of this game. So,
and he's the deepest. Oh, my God, he was meant to be warding the top lane.
Yes.
Oh, that's a... See, you know, when pro players make these mistakes, it literally makes it fallible for all of us. We can all make a mistake now. So, yeah.
I've never been so happy to be mediocre at League of Legends.
But, yeah, we were just waiting for the start to start out. You can see TSM there on screen. This is the new lineup, TSM. And as has been pointed out by the internet, I've actually commentated every new AD carry that's joined TSM. It's a little strange. I don't know how that bodes for Double Lift. I mean, to be fair, Wild Turtle got a pentakill in his first matchup when I covered him, and poor old Chaos was sent packing.
Are you the Chaos Destroyer?
Yeah. Those tears were felt. Let's put it that way. But yes, a little bit chilly maybe for the top laner there. Just getting him jacket up. By the way, I absolutely love their outfits. LGD. You have an LGD jacket.
I do, yeah.
You got it yesterday.
Yeah, the perks. I'm not allowed to wear it on broadcast.
No,
Say
obviously
it's inspiring some bias, but yeah, it was a birthday present from one of the LGD managers, so. Trying to butter me up. No buttering up, LGD. I'm gonna be merciless. Pain Evil was in the mid lane. You can't let that go. You gotta throw some flack his way.
And what's with the capital PAE? Like, there's got to be something with the A being capitalized. Or do you think you just mistyped?
See, now, I've loved every rendition of his name up until this one, because this one to me is like what I would have named myself in an MMO at age like 10. Like Pain Evil, like it's
the thing is, what's God V, or was it God 5? I mean, what was he going with that?
God 5.
God 5. I don't know. What was he planning on that one? But clearly requesting that name change still. And everybody's confused by it. It's like, you want to change your name to what?
I think it's actually PA in evil. It's actually just an evil public announcement.
Wow. When Doa's not here, you need to make the moves yourself. I see how this combo works now.
It's his coping mechanism. You can't call him out on it.
But yeah, anyway, let's talk about the tournament as a whole while we're waiting for this one to go. And obviously coming up is going to be Unicorns of Love. Which is a completely new team, against COG, which is a completely new team. Now, we were talking about this one yesterday. Literally, are we going to flip a coin to see how this one goes? How these two new lineups pan out?
I mean, I was about to say I hate to be the downer, but that's actually not true about me. I love to be the downer. So, in the spirit of loving to be the downer, we didn't see the most inspiring game of League of Legends last time. I would put money that the CLG UOL match might even be a little bit lower quality than that.
Hey, UOL turned up here last year with surprisingly twisted big jungle from Kikius. We weren't expecting that one. I don't think that was Bjergsen.
I hope we see some more of that from Unicorns of Love, even though Kikius isn't on the team anymore. But, this is a tournament that with all these roster adjustments and with the fact that the live patch changed over to 522 and made therefore, with all the myriad changes made scrimming difficult for a lot of these teams, it's tough for these teams to have gotten anybody to have gotten quality practice before this event. So it's going to be, I think, a little bit sloppy on the whole for every single team involved.
And let's talk about the two teams that are already through. Obviously, sat waiting in the semi-finals. Origin, they've had Power Evil changes in there. We think this is going to be the new improved Origin. I mean, clearly a very good player. I think is the voice going to be carried the same way that Peke does?
And I think that's the big question. Yeah. I think overall in the long term this may be an improvement, but immediately I imagine that it will affect team synergy greatly, because you have to think so many vocal veteran players, and Power People comes into this lineup as the new guy. He's going to have a hard time fitting in initially in terms of shot calling, and maybe they've figured that out already, but I think an improvement in terms of mechanics, in terms of communication and team coordination, probably going to be a downgrade, just at least initially here in this first tournament.
And what do we think of Jin Air? I mean, are we going to see the sad played again?
I think we might see sad played. That's the thing is, I'm sure people are expecting me to say, oh, I think Jin Air is going to win this tournament. I actually don't think they're going to win this tournament. Their performance in Kespa Cup was not very inspiring. They are using Kuzan full-time now that GBM has gone over to Energy. They're not using Chaser, who I think is the best jungler in Korea. So I don't know where he is right now or why they're choosing to use Wing. Trace is out. Sowan, this very, very raw player, is in. But when we look at Jin Air, with the change with Kuzan and Sowan, they've completely changed their play style. They're much more aggressive now than they used to be. Jin Air used to be a very defensive top and mid lane. Their solo lanes were very, very about farming close to the turret, taking very few risks, and that's gone completely the other direction. So they're going to have some growing pains, and we definitely saw that in Kesper.
Overall, I mean, I completely agree, especially in their set against CJ. It was pretty tough. But then, of course, here on your screen, today it's about double lift. CLG, formerly CLG double lift, now TSM double lift.
Well, I mean, this is something we were talking about off air. Obviously, how is this team going to roll? You know, double lift isn't just the star in this team anymore. He's got Bjergsen alongside him, who arguably is a bigger star, certainly in worldwide perspective. Double lift is a very well respected, but Bjergsen, you know, you only need to look at the All-Star vote to see how big those votes went for these two players. And this is, are we going to see ego clashes as the year goes on? I mean, these guys obviously both very prolific. Who gets fed? Who's given what? I mean, it's just we've heard the double lift is the shot caller, which in itself you have experience with.
Worrying trend for TSM.
The thing that I really like about TSM is that while there are definitely issues in terms of their coordination and their shot calling, and even in their pick ban phase, they know what they're good at right now. If they're going to have double lift be the shot caller, they're going to build a team around double lift. But we're going to have to see if that's how this game plays out as we're coming back in at the tail end of this pause.
Yeah, so we're going to get ourselves resumed here, and I want to just briefly also touch on the top lane because Acorn is playing today. We weren't sure exactly coming into today who was going to be up there. Well, what do you make of this one?
I think Acorn was definitely not himself at the World Championship. When we think about Acorn as a player, because he was really the one on Samsung Blue that helped develop a lot of what we consider like the more modern lane swaps with teleport right now. And he's always been a spot-on player, but his TP usage was atrocious at the World Championship. So we'll see how he does in this particular game because the coordination seemed very, very off in their first few games at Worlds.
I never know what to make of like a substitute change mid-tournament. Like Flames just like, I did all right in the last game. No.
The thing about LGD is that historically, the reason that they've used Acorn over Flame is that Acorn has brought a much more authoritative role, kind of as Monty was saying, communicates much better with the team. So maybe shifting focus here, maybe not so much on the split push point anymore and more about playing as a team, moving around the map as a team, as opposed to Flame, who, I mean, despite his flexibility as a player, when he's in the game, a lot of times it becomes all about Flame.
See how it works out. The lane swap has not happened. This is somewhat surprising already.
Well, I mean, Tristana does have a nice matchup with Kalista. That's so the TSM may be confident going into this one. But Imp is just such a fearsome Kalista player, and that's going to be potentially an issue for them. They are taking a bit of a risk right here. We are seeing just weird jungling going down on opposite sides of the map, ping down onto the blue buff of LGD. So a good idea of where Rek'Sai is at this point in time.
POA getting a little aggression, Kasing push in there, but this top lane matchup, Haunter did very well in the first game. How is he going to compare now with Acorn? The fact that obviously they've had very big champion change. His Renekton was clearly impressive.
I think the big change here is that Renekton's a lot about solo outplays in the early game, snowballing ahead. Nara's going to be all about the team fight. On the desk. If Olaf finds an advantage, if he lands that one crucial axe, Nara really just doesn't have the tools to get away. He has that one hop. Once Olaf uses Ragnarok, he's just going to be able to gut run him down. But here in the bot lane, a lot of aggression.
Okay, so what we missed right there actually was a huge skirmish that I was watching on my screen, and flashes blown actually from a taunt flash from Kasing, and now we got some action on the top side.
Oh, that's going to catch on towards him. The Cocoon's not enough, but they're going to pounce in towards him. The Fangs will sink in. It should be enough, and it will be. And Haunter gets first blood for a second game running, but now Double Left is in trouble. The rocket jump isn't going to be enough to get to the tower. It will be. Had to heal in reserve as well, but he gets out alive.
Yeah, TSM actually really misplayed that trade on the bottom side, but they made a play on the top side, getting that first blood, and Haunter once again out to an early lead against his Korean opponents. So very nicely done. Coming in here from Haunter, and Haunter I think has been the biggest upside for TSM so far in this series.
Well, Pain Evil very much out of position. He should be able to stun up. He's got the backup of TVQ trying to bait him into that one, but Bjergsen was having to sidestep there. Potentially could have forced a bit more of a play, but This is going to be an interesting one, this mid lane, obviously. Bjergsen and Pain Evil, they're both big farmers, these champions.
Going back to the bottom lane, no summoners left, so we did miss a big skirmish. TSM really tried to all in down there, and the only thing they got was the Ignite heal out of LGD. So both flashes still up. LGD could easily turn this around with an all-in of their own, and they have the advantage in terms of the sustain. Vamp Scepter already done for Imp. Meanwhile, Double Lift just sitting on a long